up for all our participants. Give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up.
I'm telling you, what you want this weekend, you will get. So if you've come again, I'm going to keep saying this. If you've come for a transformation, you've come for that one little thing that can really turn your life around, you will get it. But you got to play at all levels. You got to play at number 10, at high 10. You can't play at 2 and expect to be rewarded at the 10th level. It just doesn't work that way.
It don't work.
All right, so our next speaker. I met our next speaker about 4 or 5 years ago, and I kept hearing about this guy who was making millions on the internet. I kept hearing about this guy who was doing things so differently than anybody on the internet. I said, I got to know who this guy is.
Yeah.
The only thing was that he lived in Michigan. You know, Ann Arbor, Michigan. I know there are planes that go up to Michigan, so I had to literally get up to Ann Arbor, Michigan to see this guy in action.
Uh-huh.
And when I walked in there, he had on like one of those like Flavor Flav hats. He had on T-shirts. He had on his socks. And he was just walking around and he was putting it down about how to make millions, not 6 figures, on the internet.
Word.
And then I found out that he had a bullet in his leg. And I was like, why is he walking around with a bullet in his leg? But I understood that Stephen Pierce had been through some things. And as y'all know, you can't really have a breakthrough unless you've had at least one breakdown.
Well.
So the guy we're going to talk about
Word.
is going to come up today is my friend, my business partner. Get up and show some love for Stephen Pierce.
Stephen Pierce.
Come on, you can do better than that. Come on. Oh, stop it. You guys suck. Have a seat. That's horrible. Are you freaking kidding me? Is that the best you got? Let me ask you this. How many of you guys want to make a whole lot of money? Okay. How many of you want to make a whole lot of money really, really fast? You guys are weak. I'm going to give you one more time. Here we go. How many of you want to make a whole lot of money really, really fast, a whole lot easier? Man, is that all the energy you got? I was sitting back there watching. I said to myself, this is depressing. Let me tell you something. I've traveled literally around the world and have spoken before thousands of people and helped create multiple millionaires and multiple million-dollar companies. Let me tell you something. The one thing that all these people have in common is the level of energy, excitement, and passion they have about what's possible for themselves. You guys are here to learn how to be millionaires. That's pathetic. You need to do millionaire. That's it. See, learning is passive. You're sitting back and taking it in. Screw that stuff. You have to go out there and apply stuff and do stuff and make this stuff happen. You understand what I'm talking about? So we're going to get into some stuff here. But listen, before I can actually share with you guys like some of my secrets, I'm not going to give them all to you, but I'm going to give you some. What I have to do is I have to bring you into my little club. And to do that, you have to do 2 things with me. You guys want to play along, yes or no? You have to do my money chant, okay? And then you have to throw up my little money sign, all right? Okay, so here it goes. Here's the money chant. Let me hear you. No. Do it again. Do it again. Come on, man. Let's do it again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. That was okay. Now, the second thing you have to do is the money sign. So put up your hand like this. Put your thumb in the middle. Cross your 2 fingers. For those that need help, you can take your other hand and cross it. Okay? Now turn it upside down and say, more money, more money, more money. See, now you can do both of them, more money. And then what you do is you combine them. All right, I want you to combine the 2. I want you to combine the chant with the sign. You guys ready? 1, 2, 3. Hootie-hoo! Now, that's how you do it. Hey, that's how you do it. Give yourself a hand. All right, listen. As you can tell, I like to have fun. All right? I don't ever want to grow up, period. I'm not interested in being an adult. Talk to the people that work with me, and they will confirm that. I am not interested in growing up. Being irresponsible is my expertise. Okay? I like that. I let other people be responsible for me. Right? Now, here's the thing. I mean, if you look around this room, you know, all of us are here for different reasons. I mean, if you were to ask everybody in this room how they define success, you'll probably get a different definition from everybody. But the one thing that I know for sure is that there's at least 4 things that acts as a common thread that brings every single one of us together in this room. And one of them is definitely not our color, okay? You can call this event whatever it is you want. But there's 4 things that I know we want. One of the things that we want is love, right? How many agree with that? Now see, the interesting thing is that how many here are married? Right? How many it was an arranged marriage? Right? How many it was arranged? He's like forced. See, here's the thing. Most people get married because of what? Love. But why do most people get divorced? See, the Bible says money answers all things. Now, listen. I mean, money doesn't provide a solution to every problem that you have. But let me tell you something. It sure as hell can take care of a lot of different issues a person has. And one of the things is that if you're stressing out over money, it kind of blocks the arteries of love that you have in your life. So it's not that, money and love are, one and the same. It's just that because of how important money is, if we tend to lack it, because remember, most people get divorced, not because of an overabundance of money, but because of the lack of it. And the lack of money is not anybody's responsibility but those particular people, right? So the second thing I would probably say that we all have in common is that every single one of us value our freedom, right? How many of you say they value the freedom? That although we value our freedom and we are free people, by the virtue of how we designed our lives, we actually live in a prison. I mean, because you think about what happens in a prison. They're told when they can go in the yard, when they can have chow, what time to get up, and all that other kind of stuff. Sound familiar? Got to be to work at 9. You can take lunch at 12. Can't leave till 5. Right? So while you're free, by virtue of selection of your lifestyle, you actually put yourself in a prison. Okay? So what we have to do is we have to get that freedom back. How many on board to get the freedom back? And I'll probably say the third thing that we all have in common is that we all want more time. Would you say we all want more time? Now, I'm not talking about praying to God for like a 25th hour, because if you can't manage a 24, you're going to screw up the 25th one anyway, right? But the thing I'm talking about is the ability to spend our time doing what it is we want to do versus what it is we have to do, right? Or being with the people we want to be with versus the people that we have to be with. Like, screw that. You know what? I want to be able to choose, use my power of choice, and do what it is I want to do. How many understand what I'm talking about? And there was the fourth thing, I'll probably say the fourth thing is that we all want security. How many would say we all want security? Now, there's different kinds of security, but I would be willing to bet that, you're in here because you want financial security, right? You want to be secure as your family's provider. Isn't that true? And listen, make no mistake about it, we live in a very interesting environment right now, financially. But you know what? How many actually have stocks that they lose the money in their stocks, portfolios, or investments or something? There's nothing really you can do to stop that, right? See, we can't really control what's going on in the external environment, but the one thing that we can control is how we position ourselves in that environment. When the stock market is going up, people are making millions and losing millions. When the stock market is going down, people are making millions and losing millions. It's not necessarily the direction of the market, more so it is what your position is in the market, right? So what we have to do is we have to stop stressing over the things that we can't control and start focusing our energies on the things that we can control, right? I feel like a rotisserie oven right here. Doesn't that look like one? But the thing that we have to understand is that the situation that we're faced with right now is an opportunity. I look at people, I'm like, people are talking about how they're drowning in debt or something like that, and I just don't get it. I think that most people are drowning in a sea of opportunity, especially in today's environment where more millionaires are being created today than at any other point in time in history, period. And millionaire status knows no race, it knows no geography, and every single one of us have an equal opportunity to be able to create whatever wealth it is that we want. But one of the things you have to do is you have to know the difference between playing defense and playing offense. In today's environment, most people, their decision is to cower over into a corner and curl up in like a fetal position and try to safeguard whatever money they feel as if they have left. But what if I were to tell you that's the worst thing that you can possibly do? And in fact, if you do that, what you would probably consider to be your worst nightmare would probably be the thing that happened to you. You have to, how many like sports? Right? How many like football? Football's going on right now. When a team is behind in the game, do they just throw up their hands and be like, oh, well, let's just put the defense out there so they don't run the score up on us? Or do they set up the offense as well? We want to prevent the losses. In other words, we want to prevent them from running up the score, but at the same time, we need to go on the offense. So what it is I'm hoping to do here is to create some momentum and put you on the offense and share with you what it is I know is possible. Let me tell you something. What I know is possible and what it is I've been through and what it is I'm going to share with you here will make a significant change in your life if you do something about it. If you do something about it. And without question, you got these little things, these little handouts, right? I'm not here to sell you anything more so than it is I'm here to help create some momentum and then give you an intelligent option, okay? But you're going to have to decide if this is something that you want to do. But what I found, though, is in traveling around the world and working with people of different cultures, even where I work with people where there's interpreters in the room, so people can understand what it is that I'm saying, there's a very distinct difference between those that succeed and those that don't. And one of the first things that I noticed is how they evaluate what they were going to do. The criteria for deciding what they're going to do and what they're not going to do. Here's what people that don't make a lot of money use. They look at, is it easy, is it affordable, and is it convenient?